Hey man, what do you think? Like, share, subscribe. I was just talking to, oh no, that's what it was. I was like, how did I get on the subject? But this guy's son plays for Carson, right? And I was just joking around, right? I was like, man, I'm still looking for that girl that made my cousin cry. Lived in Carson, right? I was joking though. I mean, I wasn't joking about that happening, but about looking for her or whatever. She was nice girl, Tish. She was real nice, man. She was cool. But man, I remember, man, one time, cause like my cousin would always be gone. He'd be at her house, and you know, I don't know. He came back to the house one night. And he was in the room, had some Anita Baker on, all loud and stuff. And I'm like, the heck? I'm hearing him in there. I said, Lord, I said, what's going on in there? I said, man, the girl got him crying. I'm like 15 or something, but he ain't got no kids by her or nothing. Like, I don't know what could have possibly made him cry. For the past that whole week, he was sick in his room. I said, Lord have mercy. Hey, but you know what, man? I cried one time, man. My baby's mom, the way she took my son, and then once she took him, she was like, basically, you basically ain't gonna see your kid. I was hurt, homie. I was hurt. You know what I mean? I was sick. And I didn't understand why, though, because the craziest part is we didn't even leave on bad terms. I didn't even know that we was parting when we parted. That was the coldest part about it, right? But I couldn't understand why he had that Anita Baker in there, playing that Anita Baker like that, and was in there crying. I could never understand that. And I thought about it, man, because I thought about the things that I cried about, like, because I was hurt yesterday, man. Hurt. More hurt than like, hurt. You know what I mean? Pretty much, and that's all I've been able to accomplish to see is pain, right? And I'd be like, wow, that's a trip. Even though that I was even looking at certain things, certain situations and relationships, and even with dudes or men or women or different things, just paying attention to it, like, that's a trip. Me talking about different things on my YouTube, you know what I mean? And then like, damn, I remember I had all these whole slew of girls before this time, never had a problem, nothing, but just like a cool friendship or relationship or, something cool. And I was like, that's a trip. And then I look at the ones that would always try to create friction, even some that I really didn't even know, truthfully, that I was hoping to see if we could get somewhere. But I was thinking about like the times that I've cried, like, my grandmother, with my grandmother, my grandfather, I cried. My boy Sam Bam, when he died and I seen him in the casket, I cried, man. And I had the whole hood there at the funeral, and I'm up there at the pulpit and I couldn't even talk. The same way I was when my grandmother passed away. I was sick. Man. But, you know, like I said, that one time, you know, my youngest son's mom, man, I cried, man. You know, because I tried hard to try to make sure that I did the most that I could to make the best situation that it was supposed to be. Regardless of my plans wasn't really each other's plans, and it happens, homie. You know what I mean? But we had a baby involved. You know what I mean? A kid involved. That I was there from day one. You know what I mean? I seen him born, you know, everything. You know what I mean? Took care of my baby boy, you know. And for it to be stripped away from me again, it was like painful, you know. And then for the follow-up to be the way the follow-up went, and for me to kind of pay attention to it, it was like, wow, that's a trip, you know. But going back to, I mean, I done seen a dude, you know, kind of get surprised, you know, and got fired on, you know, and almost cried. I get him and everything and put him in the car with me. Come on, let's roll, man. But, you know, and I thought about that. It was probably a pain for his love for him, and then not understanding why, you know, he would go to that extent when it probably wasn't needed. I don't know if it was needed or not, because I don't know really the situation at hand of how long he owed him or whatever, you know what I mean? You know, but, and then I was just trying to think of like the times that I cried, man. Because like, even at Bubba Cheek's funeral, like, I couldn't cry, but I was hurt. You know what I mean? I was hurt. And then, like, when they told me my aunt had COVID and she was in the hospital, I cried. I was hurt. You know what I mean? I was hurt, you know. And it's a trip because of you're not obligated not to cry, but I was just wondering, you know, the validation of, you know, I mean, everybody cries for different reasons, you know, and as you get older or mature or whatever. But I was just like, golly, have I ever cried over a girl like at 18 years old for nothing? We don't have no connection to no kids, no nothing. Like, nah, I ain't never did nothing like that. You know, And I always like, golly, what was that about, man? You know, your boy had the Anita Baker. Just like, you know, my boy one time, you know, he looked at it, he come out the house one day, and just tears. And I'm like, man, what's up, man? He like, she want me to pay the rent. And I'm like, pay the rent? Yeah, she wants some money. You know what I mean? And I ain't got no money. I was like, wow, that's a trip. I was thinking something serious, you know what I mean? I guess that's serious, but it's not really, but not to the extent to be crying, you know. But I looked out for him, you know what I mean? Made sure. That's a trip when I think about that, but I was just thinking about that, man, you know, because it's a trip that the way things go, you know, in life, and you can never see it come. Well, it's just like when I got shot up, you know, and when I almost got shot up a few different times. I didn't see it coming to a certain degree, you know what I mean? So, and that is, because I sure didn't see it coming. If I didn't see the facial expression of my folks in the car, I wouldn't have never, I would have just, I don't know, he would have domed me or whatever. Well, he did dome me, but it just got me over here in the back of the ear. Bullet over here, but I was just like, man, that's a trip, man. You know how that works, but I was just like, you know, I don't know. I guess it's no validation of when you can cry and when you can't cry, you know, but I used to, like, never could cry. But when my grandmother, all the little stuff I went through and everything, because I tried pretty hard, man, to make sure that I can bring it home for everybody to be okay. And to see everybody, you know, I guess to see, because everybody's okay except me. That's the crazy part. And I'm like, damn, that's a trip, but to lose my grandmother, my grandfather, and stuff like that, that was heartbreaking. You know what I mean? To even be in a situation of knowing damn near that that's what's gonna happen was crazy. You know what I mean? Or just like, because nothing was making sense, you know, because you got to go back to God is no author of confusion. So you seeing all the confusing situations, confusion, you know, and everything's not, you know, always, you know, boom, 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 as far as the way things may be led, you know, planet. You know, I understand that, but, you know, it was a few people, man, you know, that touched me, man, in a major way. But now ain't no girl ever made me cry or nothing like that. Like, you know. But like I said, you know, I was hurt, man, with when my folks took my kid and how it was done and how that played out. Because it played out the same exact way I was not hoping for it to play out, but I seen it play out. And I knew it. I could feel it. But it wasn't something that I could feel at the moment. You know what I mean? Never seen it coming. Never seen it coming. You know what I mean? And to have a child with someone, you know, as you get older, you know what I mean? I already had 3 other kids. So to have a child and not, and your motive, well, I don't think that, nah, but to think that, you know, yeah, I'm going to be there for my kid. I want to be there, make sure it's all right. And it was crazy, too, because, you know, I was trying to, I said, I mean, it was crazy because the property was ridiculous cheap. I could have got my little house the way that I was going to do it. And it was a trip that somebody got all my situation of my little resources and was taking that stuff one by one. Yeah, how to get stuff for a little bit better prices, all that. Basically studied me and then said, the hell with me. That's some cold stuff, huh? I mean, you know, nah, I ain't never did that like that. You know, I can't really say that I did something like that, you know, and, you know, you would never think you'll see that firsthand from family or something, you know, and then to make it look like, you know, oh, we're together, and then like, no, we ain't together. Shoot, the hell are you talking about? That's some weird stuff, huh? That's scary. It's a trip, man. It just goes back to me like looking at me getting shot up. With my pop's resources of things over the years of just knowing how to function and dealing with different people in life, people knowing how to function, knowing how to get in different doors, you know. But I feel like my dad was used. I feel like I was used. And it's okay, I guess, you know, it is what it is, but, you know, life is a trip, man. Life is something else. You know, it doesn't make sense, but, you know, I just can't really see that it would be something that wouldn't make sense. I was just telling my folks the other day, I said, man, I would have never thought it would have turned out like this. I ain't gonna lie, I would have never in my life thought that life would have turned out the way it turned out. Certain people was lost, of elders and people that I just thought that should have been here, and I never realized how much of a disconnection that I had through people around my age bracket. But I was connected to the older folks in my life, people's mamas and grandmas and grandpas and dads, and because I had to keep a certain respect level, because it could get back to my grandma, my grandpa, my dad, and so it was like, nah, I can't move like that. I just can't do anything like that. But then you have it where people look at, because they don't know what's going on, they don't see what's going on, they don't really understand what's going on, and they don't care about what's going on, especially if they can see it come up. And if they can sabotage somebody's situation to come up, that's what it's going to be. But, I look at like my grandfather, my grandmother, my dad, you know what I mean? And I look at things like, wow, that's a trip, of how things go. And what would make you focus on people like that don't bother with you, or don't even, have no bad inkling towards you, but to see you and your side of the family because of, that's what it is. But I guess people just have so many different ways that they go about things, so many different excuses of why, or so many reasons of why they do stuff the way they do it, how they do it, how they get to the point of not caring. I should have been not caring a long time ago about a lot of different things. I should have been more observant to a lot of different things, instead of thinking that it's not like that, but it's not really where you could, because I feel like the worst thing is to feel outsmarted, right? And I feel like I've been outsmarted, you know what I mean? Like, wow, I can't believe that. It straight punked me, you know what I mean? Outsmarted me. And I keep going scenario to scenario of over many years of, wow, I was outsmarted again, which me getting outsmarted put me in a situation of not having, and it got my folks killed. I don't know if that's outsmarting a person by being a snake, though. You know what I mean? I don't really, that ain't really, I don't know how to explain that. Because that ain't really outsmarting a person. That's just being a snake. You know what I mean? But the worst thing or feeling or thought is to be outsmarted, or punked, But then I just guess you got to just go back to scripture, look at things, observe things, and pray on things and hope for the best, because I just seen everything. I just seen everything happen to me but death. Broke up everything they could think of to break up, tore up everything that they could think of to tear up. Got multiple people all around wherever I go to disrespect, play games. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that. I said, damn, that's a trip, man. Somebody wanted to remind me of that though. I said, man, that's a trip. I would go to my hotel room, right? Be cool. Yeah, I'd be cool at my hotel room, right? Until I get into bed. But I didn't wait until 2 o'clock in the morning to get into bed. Like, wow, why am I itching? Or wow, now all of a sudden my body hurting. And they didn't put stuff, man. I must have put on some clothes the other day, homie. But everything was still folded up and everything, you know, but I know they had been in the car and you know, because I put a sweatsuit on, right, for like a day. And then I went and washed everything again. My whole body was in a pain, still in pain, right? Like, hey, it even had something where my whole, whatever was in my clothes, in my shirt, everything, whatever was in my clothes, I must have used the bathroom for 2 days. Just a couple days ago, I was like, it was just like, wow. My whole stomach, my whole body, my legs, my jacket, my all in here, my whole body was in pain, still hurting. I was limping, still limping a little bit. And I'm like, that is crazy. But nobody sees it. That's the craziest part. It ain't even funny, but it's a trip, you know? And I said, wow, that's a trip. But I find myself, if I feel that I can't defend myself, I stay away from situations. Even though that a lot of the situations shouldn't be a situation, but most of the time it is. Crazy. But I'm like, man, that's a trip, man. I'm talking like whole body just in pain, homie. But yeah, man, getting back to a man crying. When is it valid, I guess, for a man to cry, you know? I guess any time is valid, you know, because it's really supposed to cleanse your soul, you know what I mean? Hey, my whole face was hurting yesterday. My eyes been hurting, like, they've been doing some weird stuff to me, man. I gotta watch everything. I ain't gonna lie, man, I ate straight vegetables yesterday and had a turd that long, man. I needed that. Like, I just needed that. Whatever, my body just, like, wow. I can feel, man, he messing with my teeth, man. Cause I can see it. Like, they're messing with it right here, Crazy. They want me toe up bad, too. Bad. That's amazing. Bad. But they want me confused. They don't want me directly understanding exactly what's the reason behind this weirdo stuff. But it's been so many years and went by playing so many games where now it's like, it's crunch time. It's like, it's been crunch time, but, you know, because I'm looking at, okay, you know, because it's it'd be like a lot of little challenges or different things, but why you ain't making sure? I mean, I wouldn't bother to do, you know, if I maybe wanted to get a fade with him or something, nah, don't mess with him. Let's see him get right, or at least be halfway right, or have an idea. Just me getting shot up was enough, right? You know, where I knew I couldn't do certain things or whatever, but the stuff that's going on now, they taking it to a whole nother level. But they've been doing it. I just was not really aware of it as much. Believe that. I do know that. You know, yeah, it's a cold thing, man. You know, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, man, I trip off that, man. I was like, yeah, he had that Anita Baker up in there, man. He was popping that Anita. I said, Lord have mercy. I said, what's going on in there? Your boy was sick for like 5 days, right? He was in the room, didn't come out or nothing. I said, Lord have mercy. I never knew what happened. Didn't nobody die or nothing happened or nothing. I don't know. She just was like, I ain't messing with you or nothing or something. I don't know what it was. But boy, whatever it was, broke my folks down. But I was just thinking about it, man, because I was hurt yesterday, man. You know, I've been hurt continuously, physically, mentally, you know, spiritually. You know, I done got the pain from every angle possible. You know, I was just tripping off of like, I remember I was saying like how I just was like, wow, that's a trip, man. Just the order of girls, you know, of how never had no problems. Or these people from over here or over there create a million problems. And I don't know. Or these people related or, you know, got relations to this, that, and that, and that. Just like, wow, that's a trip, you know. But that's life, man. It's life. It's life. You know? And it's just like we gotta take it one day at a time, man. You know, I don't know what God's plan is for me, because it ain't making sense. It hasn't made sense. I damn near do everything that I usually do anyway, but I don't have nothing going on, which is boring, which is not beneficial financially, which none of it is making sense. But I guess half of the battle is knowing who your enemies are, which I really don't know. You know, can I go on, you know, what I see to a certain degree, but, you know, it's just like you see so much. It's just weird. Everything is so weird, you know. You know, you'll look at something, you'll be like, damn, you know, that happened this day, and, you know, took a little picture and stuff, and for what? You know, or all the smile. I look at all the smiles and grins and the acting like they love you, and you couldn't have never thought in a million days that they didn't love you. You know, just because of who you was, and And you know what? We're gonna make sure you ain't who you're supposed to be. We're gonna do everything in our power, you know. That's pretty powerful, but I don't know what drives a person to want to see me not okay, because it's a trip that I'm the same person that made you okay, or put you in the lineup to be okay. But I've seen it a million times just like that. Just like that. You know, because all our spirits feed off each other's spirits, good or bad, you know. Invalid reasons and beneficial reasons. It all coincides together, you know. And that's real. Like, share, subscribe, man.